When you think about your home's plumbing, you probably picture the obvious stuff, right? Pipes, faucets, the water heater in a garage. But what if I told you it's so much more than that? It's actually a complex system locked in a constant, hidden battle with the very ground your house is built on.
I know, it sounds a little dramatic, doesn't it? But for millions of us, it's a very real question. Is the unique mix of geography, geology, and climate where you live actively working against you? Is it trying to take down your home's infrastructure from below?
Well, for anyone living in South Florida, this isn't some hypothetical thought experiment. It's a daily reality. The environment there is an aggressive, relentless force, and your plumbing system, it's right there on the front lines.
Okay, so let's really dive into this. We're going to meet the four main culprits, the specific environmental forces that make this region so incredibly tough on a home's pipes and fixtures.
It really all boils down to these four key players. You've got the water in the ground, the salt in the air, the very chemistry of the water in your pipes, and even the rock under your foundation. And trust me, each one of these poses its own unique and pretty powerful threat. So first up is the high water table. Because South Florida is so low and close to the bay, the ground is just, well, it's always damp. This basically acts like a giant welcome mat for tree roots, which are always hunting for water, and your sewer lines are public enemy number one. On top of that, it means your home's foundation can actually shift, putting a crazy amount of stress on those rigid pipes buried underneath. But at the exact same time, the water flowing inside your pipes is an enemy too. It's loaded with minerals and treated with chlorine, creating this chemical cocktail that literally eats away at your plumbing from the inside out. It destroys water heater elements, dissolves rubber gaskets, and leaves behind this nasty mineral scale that slowly chokes off your water flow.
And these aren't just abstract science concepts, They're the direct cause of some of the most stressful, most damaging, and most expensive problems a homeowner can ever face. So let's connect the dots.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because you can see how a simple little symptom connects to a massive environmental cause. That warm spot on your floor? That isn't just a weird quirk. It's a huge red flag for a slab leak, likely because your whole foundation is shifting on that limestone bedrock. And that gurgling toilet? That's the sound of your sewer line fighting and losing a battle against tree roots that have been supercharged by that high water table.
And this right here, this shows you the real-world cost. That aggressive water chemistry we were just talking about, it literally chops the expected life of a water heater almost in half. An appliance that's supposed to last you close to 2 decades might give out in as little as 8 years. And when they fail, it's often sudden and catastrophic.
This is exactly why the age of your home matters so much. Older homes, they're often filled with galvanized pipes, which basically rust from the inside out when they meet South Florida's water. Modern materials, things like PEX and copper, were specifically developed to resist this exact kind of corrosion, making them absolutely essential in an environment like this.
So how in the world do you fight back? Well, it just makes sense, right? If the problem is this specific and this localized, then the solution has to be too. A generic one-size-fits-all approach is pretty much doomed from the start.
And here's the crucial point. A professional plumber in a region like this isn't just a mechanic. They're a strategist. They have to be a master plumber who gets the local building codes, who knows which materials can actually survive the soil and the water, and who can navigate the whole permit and inspection process to make sure the job is done right for the long haul.
And those local codes, they are not just red tape. This quote makes it crystal clear. They are lessons that were learned the hard way. They exist to protect homeowners from absolute disasters, especially in an area that's constantly dealing with hurricanes and extreme weather. A true professional applies all this local expertise in a methodical way. It all starts with diagnosing the root environmental cause, not just patching the symptom. Then, it's all about doing the repair with the correct materials and methods for that region. And finally, it's about making sure the solution is going to last, with a solid warranty to back it up against those unique local pressures. So, after this deep dive into South Florida's plumbing wars, what's the big takeaway? Well, it's a lesson that really applies to every single one of us, no matter where we live. The thing is, your home doesn't exist in a bubble. It's in a constant, active relationship with its environment. The pipes under your floor and hidden in your walls are directly impacted by the soil, the water, and the weather that are totally unique to your town. Understanding that relationship is the absolute key to protecting your biggest investment. Which brings us to our final question for you. We've seen the impact of limestone, salt air, and high water tables in Florida. But what about where you are? Is it expansive clay soil that swells and shrinks? Is it brutal freezing temperatures in the winter?
Maybe it's incredibly hard water coming from a different mineral source. What is the hidden enemy your home is fighting, right now, under your feet,